first step is going to be to complete all of these moments. By completing all of these moments, you are going to allow yourself to get 46 program points. With 46 program points, you are going to unlock 12 of these monthly award cards, all the way up to Jaren Duran. What I would highly suggest as well is for this 97 overall pack, you will only get 2 out of the 4 cards to begin with. So go ahead and select the 2 hitters. That would be Isaac Paredes as well as Eduard Julian. Those are the 2 guys that you want to select. Once you got these 46 program points, it is important that you go into manage squad and you insert those players. By inserting those players, you should have a player in each and every single position except for right field and designated hitter. And that's where July Tops Now comes in. If you are someone that is still working on completing the July Tops Now program like I am, or someone that is on the final week, then you're going to want to go ahead and knock out these moments as well. By knocking out these moments, it should give you some of these cards. And if you find any of them that can play right field as a secondary position, as well as a hitter that can be your DH, you also want to insert those 2 to complete the lineup, as that will allow you to also work on week 3 for their PXP mission and give you an additional 10 program points once you unlock Carlos Rodon. Let's get to 30,000 subscribers before August 15th. You can help me by hitting that red subscribe button, notification bell, and checking out the links inside the description, as well as like button. Let's continue. The additional 10 program points are optional though. You do not have to complete it, as by completing the stat missions and PXP missions in total, that will give you an additional 55 program points, which with moments, stat, and PXP missions is going to equal 101 program points, allowing you to unlock Cody Bellinger. So we're not going to go through that Tops Now grind, Blade. What do we do now? Well, you have to look at the PXP missions. You have 2 player specific missions in Walker Buehler and Yuli Gurriel, and then everything else is generalized towards monthly awards. The same thing is going to apply to the stat missions. Everything is generalized towards monthly awards, and you need to tally 3 quality starts. Blade, what are quality starts? It's when your starting pitcher pitches at least 6 innings and they give up 3 runs or less earned. So what would I do in order to grind out all these stat missions as well as PXP missions? Well, after our squad has been made up, I would go ahead and take them into single player modes. If you got a conquest map to finish up, then conquest would also be ideal, but single player modes, play versus CPU, is going to be the most ideal, because that is going to probably be the best way that you get that quality start and keep those 3 earned runs or less for that pitcher as well. You're going to find the worst hitting team, which in my opinion is going to be the Oakland Athletics. You're going to face them on rookie difficulty, and you're going to make sure that Walker Buehler is your 5th best starting pitcher. Now, I wouldn't suggest playing in a high elevation stadium such as Capitol Lange unless you know for sure that you're going to be dotting corners and you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that the pitcher only gives up 3 earned runs. If you have been great at that, then go ahead and play at Capitol Lange, as that will also boost the PXP that you're going to be gaining from those players that you are hitting with inside the monthly awards program. If not, you're not too comfortable, then I would highly suggest going and playing in a stadium like Ship It Stadium, where the opponent is not going to be crushing the ball, but you're still going to have a good opportunity to crush the ball. Inside of there, you're going to put Yuli Gurriel as your leadoff hitter, Walker Buehler as your 5th best starting pitcher, and you're going to go ahead and play 3 games versus the CPU. You're going to complete all 3 games versus the CPU. That way you get a total of 3 quality starts, because the 9 innings must be complete. While getting these 3 quality starts, you should more than likely complete the stat missions when it comes to the strikeouts. You're going to get the quality starts out of the way. You more than likely are going to get the extra base hits out of the way. Or another way you can do this to actually make it better for you is you take them to Capitol Lange if you feel comfortable that you're going to keep them within 3 runs, and you make the pitcher pitch 6 innings. As long as he only allows 3 runs, you can take him out and then bring in one of the other starting pitchers or one of the relievers inside of the game, as long as you still lead, and have them finish out the game in order to go ahead and get that quality start saved and continue on just destroying the opponent in Capital Lane Stadium or Ship Stadium, whichever one of the two you choose. But within those 3 games, you should be pretty close to the 50 on base. You should be pretty close to the extra base hits. And then for the PXP missions, you should 100% be done with both Walker Buehler and Yuli Gurriel, and you should be getting close to finishing the hitters as well as the pitchers as well, and at least halfway to the monthly awards PXP mission as well. Now you can either continue to grind PXP towards the play versus CPU, or you can go ahead and go into mini seasons or conquest to finish up this PXP grind, especially if you have conquest maps or mini seasons that you would like to complete. But if all you need are the stat missions to get on base, then remember, for stats, not PXP, for stats and stats only, you can go into play versus CPU away as the Rockies, or facing the Rockies, excuse me, and then just play the first top of the inning and then quit out and rinse and repeat until you get the on bases and extra base hits with those July monthly awards players, and you will be completely done with that. If you want to get PXP while doing this grind as well, then your 8th hitter needs to get a plate appearance in the top of the first inning. By completing all of this, you should have this 99 overall Cody Bellinger. But if you don't want to take an offline grind to it, then of course you're gonna be able to take those 12 monthly awards as well as Topps Now cards that you have been unlocking by completing both of those programs into the event. And for every win you get inside the event, you are also going to get an additional program point. You also have some optional steps where if you complete it and have been keeping up to date with the July Topps Now and you complete that PXP for week 3, you might not even have to grind all of the PXP missions or all of the stat missions, as you will get an additional 10 collection points for completing the July Topps Now collection. And then if you have stubs and would like to go ahead and exchange some set 2 duplicates or buy some set 2 cards in order to exchange them, then you can go ahead and participate in that as well. And that should also allow you to minimize the amount of stat or PXP missions that you need to grind. But if you want to do it the fastest and most effective way possible for a player that is not necessarily skilled, then playing versus the CPU on rookie difficulty is the way to go. Final piece of advice is, if you leave the Diamond Dynasty screen to complete the moments, you would want to go into quick play moments and then do it off of this screen, because it just makes it a whole lot faster, as it doesn't keep kicking you out back to the main screen of the program where you have to enter the moments again and then scroll all the way down to the one that you were doing. Here you can just go ahead and complete them back to back to back. That applies to the Topps Now moments as well as the other program moments for the July monthly awards. The second half of this video, we're going to be looking into each and every single one of these cards, and we're going to decide whether or not they will make your squad. Walker Buehler, 110 hit per 990 pitching clutch. 90 pitching clutch is not ideal at this point in the game. His arsenal, knuckle curve, slider, those are 2 pitches that have different off-speed movements, and he throws a 4-seam and a cutter. So basically a 2 fastball pitcher, 2 off-speed pitcher. You can say he's a 4-pitch pitcher. I say that he most likely is not going to make your squad, but if you desperately need a 5th, he can certainly fill that void. Yuli Gurriel at third base, 104 clutch. He doesn't have great contact versus left if there are no runners in scoring position. Being a third baseman, despite him having utility, he is not going to be a player that makes your team, even with the captain boost. Steven Matz, 98 hit per 9, 102 pitching clutch, sinker, circle change, sweep and curve, slider. He only throws 1 type of fastball, so that automatically is not going to make him a good card, despite him being a lefty. Inside the 95 overall choice pack, we start with JP Crawford. 102 clutch is good. 80 fielding, 84 reaction, 60 speed. I say there's plenty of good infielders that are going to give you similar, if not better performances, especially considering JP Crawford has no quirks. Giovanni Gallegos, 4-seam slider, circle change, 113 hit per 9, 123 pitching clutch. Those attributes sound nice, but he is not ideal considering he does not have an outlier and he's a 3-pitch reliever. Javier Assad, 125 hit per 9, 125 pitching clutch. Now, he doesn't have outlier at all, and in terms of quirks, he has no quirks either. But what makes him a lot better than someone like Giovanni Gallegos is he's a 5-pitch pitcher. He has the 3 meta fastballs inside the cutter, sinker, 4-seam, and then he has 2 off-speed that have different movements, considering the slider is horizontal and the circle change is vertical, so that allows him to be a lot more useful. This might be a pitcher that you have as your last resort, especially considering he has 50 stamina and set 2 cards are going to be rotating out. Logan Gilbert, 84 hit per 9, 91 pitching clutch. Just looking at those 2 numbers is all I needed to see. At this point in the game cycle, you want guys that have high hit per 9 and high pitching clutch. Logan Gilbert also throws a 4-seam slider, 12-6 splitter sinker, so he throws 2 good fastballs, and then the off speeds are not that bad at all, but he doesn't have outlier, and that hit per 9 just isn't going to make it. William Contreras, 125 clutch, beautiful. 101 contact versus right is also good. He has 80 arm strength, 50 speed, and in terms of quirks, he's going to have dead red, so that helps him out a little bit. Would he be someone that starts at catcher? Most likely not for you. Could he be someone that you bring off the bench to face a lefty, regardless of whether there are runners in scoring position or not? Absolutely. 97 Aaron Savale. 111 hit per 9, 116 pitching clutch, throws a cutter, curveball, sinker, 4-seam, and a slider. He has a good arsenal. Hit per 9, pitching clutch are also good. In terms of quirks, he has none. One thing I will have to say about him is if you are deciding between him and Walker Buehler, depending on the difficulty, Aaron Savale is probably pretty similar, if not slightly better than Walker Buehler, just because he has a little bit of a better arsenal, so you get to go ahead and mix things up a bit better. 97 overall choice pack, we start with Isaac Paredes, 103 clutch, and he's really just a power hitting third baseman. 81 fielding, 78 reaction. He doesn't really have any quirk that really stand out. Like I said previously, good utility, but ton of corner infielders that can give you the same if not better performances. Joe Jimenez, no outlier on that fastball, 116 hit per 9, 120 pitching clutch, 4-seam slider circle change, similar to Giovanni Gallegos, not making your roster. Edouard Julian, 101 clutch, 110, 102 contact numbers, not bad at all. 82 fielding, 83 reaction, 90 speed, no quirks whatsoever. I believe he's also a rookie, so he wouldn't have any quirks since he doesn't have a full season played. He has good utility, but at those utility positions, he is dropping down to silver fielding and silver reaction. I do not see him being someone that makes your bench either. Pete Fairbanks, 125 hit per 9, 112 pitching clutch, no outlier on that fastball, throws a slider and a splitter as well. He could be similar to Javier Assad, where he is your last resort, but I would still pick Assad over him, considering Assad has more stamina and can last long. 97 Taylor Ward, great clutch numbers, but with no runners in scoring position, he's basically just a platoon hitter that's going to be good against lefties. So similar to William Contreras, I only see him being someone that you go and bring off the bench in order to face a left-handed pitcher, as he is going to be a great bench bat and could even be a good defensive replacement for anybody in left field that you have that might not have the best fielding in the world. Aaron Duran, 107 clutch, good contact numbers versus right versus left, that will do as well. Power numbers are not bad either. He has 85 fielding, 99 reaction, so he's going to play that center field beautifully. He is going to be at best a defensive replacement that you bring in, but if you have somebody in center field that is not good at fielding, you probably are selling yourself short, because that is the most important outfield position where you want to have good fielding. So he does not make the cut. 97 Tristan Casas, 125 versus right, 125 clutch. At best, he is someone you bring off the bench to face a righty. Chas McCormick is, looking at these, he does have good fielding and good reaction, so he could be easily a defensive replacement for a left-handed center fielder, such as Jock Peterson whenever they bring in a left-hander in order to face Jock Peterson, considering he has max numbers versus lefties. But similar to a lot of these righties inside this program, at best, he is a platoon hitter that's going to come in off the bench to face a lefty. Joel Payamps, 125 hit per 9, 105 pitching clutch. He has a slider, sinker, 4-seam circle change. Not a bad arsenal, no outlier on that sinker or fastball. That's gonna hurt him a bit, but similar to Javier Assad, he could be that final bullpen piece once those set 2 cards start rotating out. Randall Grichuk, 100% bench bat that you bring off the bench to face a left-handed hitter. 100% left-handed pitcher, excuse me. Whit Merrifield is gonna have maxed out clutch, maxed out power versus right, good contact numbers as well. He has bad ball hitter as his only quirk. He plays second base as a primary position. If you like Whit Merrifield's swing, then sure, you go ahead and put him out there, but there's plenty of second basemen that are going to do much better. I honestly don't even see him cracking your bench unless you are very good righty on righty and would like to have him just in case you have runners in scoring position. He also does provide good utility. Tyler Glasnow does not have outlier on the fastball, let alone that's the only type of fastball that he throws, so that automatically is going to make him not good. Bobby Witt Jr. has maxed out clutch. The fielding and reaction are not good at short. He does have 99 speed, and we do like ourselves 99 speed, of course, but I just don't see it in him to be taking the spot of any of the bench bats that we have seen that are great versus lefties or great versus righties. Last but not least, it is going to be Cody Bellinger. Maxed out contact, maxed out clutch, over 100 power, 100 vision, 90 fielding, 93 reaction, 85 speed. All of this for center field is going to be beautiful. He is going to be better than Jock Peterson if Jock Peterson is what you are rocking, and he is going to be better than Mike Cameron as well. He is only not better than Mickey Mantle and probably Ken Griffey Jr. But other than those two, because those two have better quirks, I would say that he competes with any of the center fielders that we currently have in the game as a set 3 or set 2 option, and maybe even set 1 option, but I can't remember those center fielders too well. Mike Trout is the only one that rings a bell to me, but Cody Bellinger you'd pick over Mike Trout just because he is a way better defensive option and has just as a good swing. If you did end up enjoying today's content, please make sure to hit that like button or subscribe button, notification bell. Check out our description for links to our Twitch as well as other social medias that we use each and every single day. There you guys can contact me or just see what I'm up to in my daily life. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.